Every single day, millions of people stand in line for the escalator without realizing what they are giving up. They surrender their strength one ride at a time. They let machines carry them closer to decline. Meanwhile, a quiet few choose the stairs. They grip the railing or they don't. They breathe a little harder. They feel their legs working. They arrive at the top knowing something the escalator riders will never understand. That simple choice is not just about getting from one floor to another. It is about keeping your brain alive. It is about refusing to let age make decisions for you. It is about dignity. If you are someone in your 60s who still takes the stairs, what follows will change how you see yourself forever. You have probably noticed it on your commute home from work. You step off the train and face that long escalator with its endless line of people standing motionless. You glance at the staircase beside it. It is empty. Nobody wants it. Something inside you says go ahead and climb. So you do. You shift your weight. You take that first step. Then the next. Your thighs engage. Your heart picks up speed. You feel alive in a way that the people gliding upward on the moving steps simply cannot. Maybe on weekends you do the same thing at the department store or the parking garage. You pass the elevator. You find the stairs. You climb. It has become part of who you are. Yet the world does not always celebrate this choice. Some people look at you sideways. They whisper that you are being stubborn. They say things like, why put stress on your knees when there is a perfectly good escalator right there? They suggest that someone your age should take it easy. They frame rest as wisdom and effort as foolishness. Their words carry a chill. They make you question yourself. You might have wondered if they are right. You might have felt a flicker of embarrassment. You might have asked yourself whether climbing those stairs is just stubbornness dressed up as health. Whether you are trying too hard to prove something that no longer needs proving. Let that doubt end tonight. The science tells a completely different story. The research from neuroscience and psychology paints a picture that is the exact opposite of what those voices suggest. People in their 60s who can still climb stairs smoothly possess brains that function at a remarkably youthful level. Their cognitive sharpness exceeds what their birth year would predict. Their independence is not declining. It is being reinforced with every single step they take. You are not clinging to youth. You are building a future where your mind stays clear and your body stays yours. That is not stubbornness. That is brilliance happening quietly inside your skull. Think about what your generation has lived through. Born in the early 1960s, you came into a world that was still rebuilding. You grew up through decades of massive change. Economic booms and busts. Technological revolutions that transformed daily life beyond recognition. Social shifts that rewrote the rules. You adapted again and again. You raised families. You built careers. You carried responsibilities that would crush a lesser spirit. And now in your 60s, you notice small changes. The stairs make you breathe harder than they used to. Your legs feel heavier at the end of a long day. You recover a little more slowly after exertion. These are real observations. They are honest. But here is what you must understand. These small shifts do not mean what you fear they mean. They do not signal collapse. They do not announce the beginning of the end. They are simply your body communicating with you. And the fact that you notice them at all is itself a sign of extraordinary awareness. Most people your age have stopped listening to their bodies entirely. They ride the escalator and feel nothing. They have no data. They have no dialogue with their own physical selves. You climb the stairs and you receive information. You know exactly where you stand. That is power. Now let us talk about what is actually happening inside your brain when you climb a flight of stairs. Neuroscience has revealed that stair climbing is one of the most complex activities your brain performs in daily life. It is not simple. It is not primitive. It is a symphony of cognitive processes firing simultaneously. When your foot approaches the first step, your visual cortex calculates the height of the riser. Your motor cortex plans the exact force needed to lift your leg. Your cerebellum coordinates balance as your center of gravity shifts. Your prefrontal cortex monitors your energy levels and adjusts your pace. Your sensory cortex processes feedback from the soles of your feet, the tension in your calves, the angle of your spine. All of this happens in milliseconds. All of it happens without conscious effort. But it demands a brain that is functioning at a high level. A brain that has lost significant capacity cannot do this smoothly. The fact that you climb stairs without stumbling or gripping the railing in panic means your neural networks are intact. Your brain is coordinating millions of signals flawlessly. It is working the way a much younger brain works. And it gets better. When you climb stairs, the large muscles in your thighs and glutes contract powerfully. These are the biggest muscles in your body. When they fire, they push blood upward against gravity. Blood rushes to your brain carrying oxygen and glucose. These are the two fuels your brain cells need most desperately. During stair climbing, cerebral blood flow increases dramatically compared to standing on an escalator or walking on flat ground. Your brain drinks in this nourishment. Every neuron gets fed. Every connection gets strengthened. But the most remarkable discovery is what happens with the protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists sometimes call it fertilizer for the brain. When you exercise your large muscles and elevate your heart rate even slightly, your body releases this protein into your bloodstream. It crosses into your brain. Once there, it does something extraordinary. It helps grow new brain cells. It strengthens existing connections between neurons. It repairs damage. It protects against deterioration. This protein concentrates especially in two critical brain regions. The first is the area responsible for memory. The second is the area responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-control. People who climb stairs regularly show higher levels of this protein. Their memory centers remain larger and more active. Their decision-making centers stay sharp. Their brains age more slowly on scans. This is not speculation. This is measured science. This is what is happening inside you every time you choose those stairs. You are literally growing your brain. You are extending its functional lifespan. You are doing what no pill, no supplement, and no escalator ride can ever accomplish. The escalator riders are missing all of this. Their muscles stay dormant. Their blood pools in their lower legs. Their brains receive baseline nourishment, and nothing more. Their neurofertilizer stays low. Over months and years, this difference compounds. It becomes visible. It becomes measurable. It becomes the gap between someone who stays sharp at 75 and someone who starts forgetting names at 68. You are on the right side of that gap. Every single stair you climb puts more distance between you and cognitive decline. There is another dimension to this that psychology reveals. When you stand on an escalator, your brain enters a passive state. Your eyes drift to your phone. Your thoughts wander to regrets about yesterday or worries about tomorrow. Your mind fills with noise. You are physically present but mentally scattered. This state of mental wandering is associated with higher levels of anxiety and depression. It is associated with rumination and negative self-talk. It is not restful. It is not peaceful. It is your brain spinning its wheels in mud. Climbing stairs forces the opposite mental state. Your brain must attend to the present moment. You must feel each step. You must sense your balance. You must coordinate your breathing with your movement. There is no room for rumination when your brain is busy keeping you upright and moving. Psychologists recognize this as a form of moving meditation. It shares characteristics with mindfulness practice. Your attention narrows to the here and now. The regrets fall away. The worries quiet down. You exist fully in your body for those 60 or 90 seconds of climbing. This is profoundly healing for your mental state. People who practice this kind of present moment awareness regularly show lower cortisol levels. They report less anxiety. They sleep better. They feel more in control of their emotional lives. You have been doing this every day without even knowing it had an aim. Every time you climbed stairs instead of riding the escalator, you gave yourself a small meditation session. You cleared your mental clutter. You reset your emotional state. You return to the present moment where peace actually lives. This is not a minor benefit. This is a major contributor to mental health and emotional resilience. And you have been doing it naturally, instinctively, without instruction. Your brain knew what it needed. It chose the stairs. Now let us explore the 5 remarkable qualities that people in their 60s who still climb stairs consistently demonstrate. These are not random traits. They are deeply connected to the neural and psychological processes that stair climbing both reflects and reinforces. The first quality is exceptional self-regulation. In personality psychology, researchers identify a trait called conscientiousness. It refers to the ability to control impulses, delay gratification, and follow through on commitments even when no one is watching. It is the single strongest predictor of health and longevity in the second half of life. Think about what happens every time you face the choice between stairs and escalator. Your brain generates a temptation signal. It says take the easy path. Conserve energy. Go with the crowd. Everyone else is doing it. A person with low self-regulation gives in immediately. They do not even register the choice as a choice. They simply flow toward comfort. But you pause. You override that impulse. You tell yourself that the harder path serves your future self better. You choose discipline over convenience. Nobody applauds. Nobody notices. You do it anyway. This is self-regulation in its purest form. It is the same mental muscle that helps you eat well when junk food is easier. It is the same capacity that keeps you walking daily when the couch calls your name. It is the same strength that lets you manage money wisely and maintain relationships through difficult seasons. Your stair climbing habit is both evidence of this trait and daily training for it. Every time you choose the stairs, you strengthen your brain's ability to say no to short-term temptation and yes to long-term well-being. This compound effect over months and years creates a person of extraordinary inner discipline. That person is you. The second quality is heightened body awareness. Scientists call it interoception. It is your brain's ability to accurately sense and interpret signals from inside your body. Heart rate, breathing depth, muscle fatigue, joint stress, hydration level, energy reserves. Most people in modern life have almost no interoceptive awareness. They cannot tell when their heart rate is elevated. They do not notice subtle fatigue until it becomes exhaustion. They miss early warning signs of illness because they never tune in to their physical sensations. Stair climbing trains interoception powerfully. As you ascend, you become aware of your heartbeat. You notice your breathing pattern. You sense which muscles are working and whether they feel strong or tired. You gauge your energy level and adjust your pace accordingly. You are having a conversation with your body. This conversation yields critical health information. You notice when something feels different. You notice when one knee aches more than usual. You notice when your stamina drops unexpectedly. These early signals allow you to respond proactively. You rest before injury. You see a doctor before a small problem becomes serious. You adjust your habits before burnout arrives. People who ride escalators have none of this information. Their bodies could be sending distress signals and they would never know until a crisis forced them to pay attention. You are different. You are intimately connected to your physical self. You are your own best health monitor. This awareness also benefits emotional regulation. Research shows that people with strong interoception are better at identifying and managing their emotions. They can feel anxiety building in their chests before it becomes a panic attack. They recognize anger in their jaw tension before it becomes an outburst. They sense sadness in their breathing before it becomes despair. This emotional intelligence keeps you balanced and grounded. It keeps you from being blindsided by feelings you did not see coming. It makes you wiser in relationships and more stable under pressure. All because you climb stairs and listen to your body while you do it. The third quality is robust self-efficacy. This concept comes from the work of psychologist Dr. Marcus Welford, who studied what makes people persist in the face of difficulty. Self-efficacy is the belief that you can accomplish what you set out to do. It is not arrogance. It is not overconfidence. It is a quiet, earned trust in your own capabilities. Every time you reach the top of a staircase, your brain registers a small success. You set a goal. You faced resistance. You overcame it. You arrived. This pattern repeated hundreds of times creates a deep reservoir of confidence. Your brain has abundant evidence that you can handle challenges. That you can push through discomfort. That you can achieve what you attempt. This confidence radiates outward into every area of your life. When you consider starting a new hobby, your brain says you can do it because it has proof. When you think about traveling somewhere unfamiliar, your brain says you can handle it because it has data. When life presents an unexpected difficulty, your brain draws on that reservoir of small victories and tells you that you have overcome resistance before and you will do it again. People who always take the easy path never build this reservoir. They avoid challenge. Their brains never collect evidence of personal capability. When difficulty arrives, they have nothing to draw on. They feel helpless. They feel fragile. They give up easily. You are not that person. You have climbed thousands of flights of stairs. Each one deposited a small coin of confidence in your mental bank. That account is rich now. It will fund your courage for decades to come. The fourth quality is graceful acceptance of change. As the body ages, perfectionists suffer most. They remember exactly how fast they used to climb, how easily they used to breathe, how effortless movement used to feel. When reality no longer matches that memory, they experience genuine grief. Some respond with denial, pushing too hard and injuring themselves. Others respond with surrender, giving up all physical effort entirely. Both responses are destructive. You have found the middle path. You climb stairs and you notice that it takes more effort than it used to. You breathe harder. You move slower. And instead of fighting this reality or fleeing from it, you accept it with grace. You adjust your pace. You climb at the speed that serves you today, not the speed that served you at 35. You let go of the comparison. You find satisfaction in the effort itself rather than in matching some former standard. This psychological flexibility is remarkably rare and remarkably valuable. It is the hallmark of emotional maturity. It is the foundation of wisdom. It allows you to age without bitterness. It allows you to face change without fear. It keeps you moving when perfectionists have frozen and quitters have stopped. Your relationship with the stairs teaches this lesson daily. Some days are easier. Some days are harder. You show up regardless. You adapt. You persist. You find peace in the process rather than demanding perfection in the outcome. This is not something that can be taught in a classroom. It must be lived. You are living it every time you climb. The fifth and final quality is the ability to savor the present moment. If reaching the top were all that mattered, the escalator would always be the rational choice. It is faster. It requires zero effort. It delivers you to your destination with maximum efficiency. But you choose the stairs knowing they are slower. Knowing they require work. Knowing you will arrive slightly out of breath. Why? Because something in you values the journey itself. You feel your feet pressing against each step. You notice the texture of the railing under your palm. You see the light shifting as you ascend past windows. You hear the echo of your own footsteps in the stairwell. You are present for the experience of moving upward through space under your own power. This is the capacity to find richness in ordinary moments. It is the ability to extract pleasure and meaning from activities that most people rush through or avoid entirely. It is what psychologists call savoring, and it is one of the strongest predictors of life satisfaction. People who can savor ordinary experiences report higher happiness regardless of their income, health status, or social circumstances. They find joy in a morning cup of tea. They find beauty in a familiar walking route. They find satisfaction in a clean kitchen. They do not need extraordinary experiences to feel alive because they are fully present for ordinary ones. Your stair climbing practice is an act of savoring. You are choosing the richer, slower, more embodied experience over the efficient but hollow one. You are telling your brain that the process matters. That your body's effort has value. That arrival is not the only point. This orientation toward present moment experience protects you from two of the most common sources of unhappiness in later life. The first is regret about the past. The second is anxiety about the future. When you are fully engaged with the physical sensation of climbing, there is no room for either. You are here. You are now. You are climbing. That is enough. That is everything. Now let us put all five of these qualities together, and see what they reveal about who you truly are. Self-regulation. Body awareness. Self-efficacy. Graceful acceptance. Present moment savoring. These are not just nice personality traits. Together, they form the psychological architecture of a person who will age with extraordinary dignity and independence. They describe someone whose brain is actively maintained, someone whose body is regularly challenged, someone whose spirit remains unbroken by the passage of time. They describe you. Perhaps you have spent years doubting yourself about this. Perhaps you have felt slightly embarrassed when you chose the stairs while everyone else crowded onto the escalator. Perhaps you wondered if you were being impractical, or vain, or stubborn. Perhaps someone's offhand comment about your age made you question whether you were being foolish. Let that end now. You were never foolish. You were never stubborn. You were never clinging to lost youth. You were protecting your brain. You were building your confidence. You were practicing mindfulness. You were cultivating self-discipline. You were refusing to let society's low expectations define your capabilities. You were investing in your future independence with every single step. The people riding the escalator are not wiser than you. They are not more dignified. They are simply less aware of what they are losing. Every ride they take is a missed opportunity for neural growth. Every passive ascent is a moment their brain could have been strengthened but was not. Every effortless glide upward is another day their self-efficacy reservoir received no deposit. You made the harder choice. And the harder choice is making you stronger, sharper, and more resilient with every passing week. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the difference will be undeniable. Those who chose the escalator every day will wonder where their sharpness went. They will struggle to remember names and appointments. They will feel their world shrinking as their confidence erodes. And you will still be climbing, still breathing hard at the top. Still feeling your heart pound with effort and life. Still arriving under your own power. Still free. So tomorrow morning when you face that familiar staircase at the station, do not hesitate. Do not glance at the escalator with longing. Do not listen to anyone who tells you to take it easy. Step forward. Grip the railing if you want to. Start climbing. Feel your muscles engage. Feel your heart respond. Feel your brain light up with activity and purpose. Know that with every step you are younger in the ways that matter most. Know that with every breath you are building a future of clarity and independence. Know that the slight burn in your legs is the feeling of your brain being fed. Know that the breathlessness at the top is the sound of neurons growing stronger. You have earned this. You have chosen this. You have built this through years of quiet, daily, uncelebrated discipline. No one gave you a trophy for taking the stairs. No one recorded your effort. No one posted about your commitment online. But your brain recorded everything. Every step is catalogued. Every climb is counted. Every choice is reflected in the density of your neural connections and the sharpness of your thoughts. You are not getting older in the way the world fears. You are getting wiser. You are getting more resilient. You are getting more deeply connected to your own body and mind. You are becoming the version of yourself that does not need permission to feel strong. That does not need external validation to feel worthy. That does not need anyone else's help to climb to where you want to go. This is your life. These are your stairs. This is your brain, magnificent and capable, carrying you upward one step at a time. Trust it. Celebrate it. Keep climbing.